Hey guys, today we are going to use Adobe Draw to transform our sketches that we made. So go ahead and open the app, and when you do, you will see your projects. On the bottom right, you will see an orange plus sign. So you're going to go ahead and click on that, and you're going to select iPad Landscape for our format. On the right hand side, you'll see your layers. So you start with a background layer and one draw layer. On the left hand side, you're going to see different brushes. So you have smooth brushes, chisel brushes, your erasers all the way down here. What I want you to start with is by pressing that plus sign on the right hand side, and you're going to create an image layer. So you can either take a photo now of your sketch, or you can pull it from your iPad if you already have a photo. So here I'm going to pull my sketch, and I'm going to actually just pinch it out a little bit to make it a tiny bit bigger, and I'm going to go ahead and say done. I'm now going to click on that layer again, and I'm going to turn the opacity down just a little bit because I just need a rough outline of this sketch, because I'm going to go ahead and trace it with some brushes. To move this layer down, I'm going to click and hold. I'm going to drag it below the draw layer. And now I'm going to click on that draw layer, and I'm going to grab a brush. So on the left hand side, I'm going to grab this chisel brush, and I'm going to click on it once and then click on it twice to select a color. So you can see the size of your brush is the first option, the opacity is the second option, and the color is the third. So size, if you click and go up, it gets bigger. If you go down, it gets smaller. Same with the opacity, up and down. And then color, I'm actually going to choose some colors from this color scheme here. So I'm going to start with this dark green. I'm going to use full opacity, and that looks about good for my brush size. So I'm going to go ahead and just start by tracing the contour line of my sketch, keeping in mind that our goal is a pretty graphic image. So these bold brushes work really, really well. And I like the chiseled brush for this Montserrat leaf because it's very organic. So it has kind of different line quality. It gets a little bit big, a little bit small. It feels like it goes really well with the shape of this organic object. So I'm going to just trace all the way around. You do not have to do it in a single stroke like I am, but if you want to, that's great. So you can see that I had a little bit of a blip there, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in by pinching. I selected my eraser. Whoops, that was a big eraser. I'm going to undo at the top right. I'm going to make my eraser a little bit smaller and clean up that little blip. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to pinch and zoom back out. Now I'm going to go back to my brush. I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller, and I'm going to go over this veining as well. So I'm just going to do this really quick for you guys. I'm going to try really hard to make sure that I'm completing the shape and not leaving any empty space. And I'm going to show you why in a second. So I'm just going to do this one, two more. Okay, so from here, I'm going to fill in these veins with a lighter green. So I'm going to go ahead and select this kind of bright green, and I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to click and hold this empty space, and it's going to fill it in. So it's super simple. It's really, really basic. Let's see what happens here. Okay, good. If your line isn't completely closed, it won't fill, or it'll fill an area bigger than you want. So I actually have to clean up some of these lines a little bit to make sure that they're really closed, that I have a closed shape. And then I'm going to bop back, grab my green. Oh, see, undo, grab that green again. Didn't close it off there. Go ahead and fill. Perfect. If you hit the line, it'll do the whole line. So with small areas, you'll likely have to really zoom in to fill it. So zoom in. Oh, my goodness, that one's giving me a hard time. Okay, so what I want to also show you is I'm gonna go ahead and take black to draw out and fill in these negative shapes where there's holes in the leaves. So I'm gonna trace them and fill them very quickly. And then I'm also, just to make it more graphic, I'm gonna fill the space around my leaf with black too. So I have to jump down to this last brush, click and hold. You know what, I think I need to do it on a new layer. There we go, and I'm gonna pull it down. I'm gonna select black. And there we go. So I'm gonna go back and fill my leaf with this green. Okay, and I'm gonna maybe start adding some detail. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose my dark color again. I'm gonna actually change my opacity, and I'm gonna start to just add some different textures, colors, keeping it really graphic, but just kind of playing with it. So I don't want you guys to really get too bogged down with having it perfect. Keeping in mind, you can always go back, grab your eraser if you don't like something, and you can erase away. So what you'll do is keep playing with this until you're really happy with it. And we won't be finished the first day, so just about half an hour worth of work, and then go ahead and do a screenshot, and then we'll work on it another day to clean it up even more, and then we will move on. So if you have any questions, please give me a shout. Let me know how I can help you. But hopefully you guys have a lot of fun with this program. I realize that some of you totally have been drawing on your iPads. You're going to be, totally set up for this. Some of us are just learning how to use it. So definitely don't overwhelm yourself. It's a new program. I almost never draw on the iPad, so this is a super perfect opportunity for me to stretch myself as well. So you are not alone if you feel like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do this. This is not something I'm super familiar with. So definitely don't feel like you are alone. But definitely try to have fun with it. If you need to delete something, if you need to delete a layer, you can draw things on multiple layers. So you can continue to add them. Just keep in mind that the one at the top is going to be the most visible. And then you can always transform them as well, and you can duplicate and you can delete them. So if you need to get rid of a whole layer, no big deal. Go ahead and just delete that and start again. All right, so I hope you have fun with your first draw assignment, and I can't wait to see what you guys submit.